All right. I'll try one more time. And then this will be it. I gotta get to work, man. I gotta quit goofing off doing this shit. This is too much fun. You know, still trying to find out what kind of collars everybody's using. So, and leashes. Now I like a horse leash. You know, a lot of people they'll buy. You know, you gotta have a good leash when you're holding your dog. You gotta be careful with pit bulls, and you know you gotta be ready at all times for them to move. You gotta outthink them. They dumping my ashtray there. You gotta outthink them. They can move at any time. You gotta be looking ahead and seeing what's moving, where the action's coming from. Kind of like driving a car, because you never know when a stray dog's going to come up or some chicken bones on the ground and the dog could eat them. So, you know, just don't be walking around with your dog looking in the air and not paying attention. And you need a good leash. You need a leash that's a strong leash, something that'll hold the dog. So when the dog pulls on the leash, it's not going to break. And I like those horse leashes. As a matter of fact, I'll go get mine. This is the leash I use, and it's just a horse training leash, like you tie your horse out on, and get them at the farm supply store. It's got a hasp like that, but that's a good half-inch rope where your dog pulls, and take that rope and wrap it around your hand, or you can actually tie. Some people will tie a loop in the end of it and put that loop around your arm and make sure that the dog can't get loose, and put that through your hand, right? And then hold the leash like that. But you got to make sure the dog can't get loose. You know, it's your responsibility to have the proper equipment. And you're out walking your dog, and the dog gets loose because you got him on a crappy collar. Well, whose fault is that? Is that your fault? Or is it the equipment's fault? Is it the dog's fault? Well, it's your fault. That's whose fault it is. Because you weren't paying attention and you didn't get the right stuff to begin with. And now what's happening? You know? And who looks bad? And who gets hurt? Dog gets hurt. You don't get hurt. And now you got a messed up dog. So, or even worse, a person or another animal's gotten hurt because of what you did. So be careful. Make sure you got good equipment on your dogs. Make sure you check all your equipment on your yard. Make sure any gates you go through. If you go through a gate and it's closed, make sure you lock it back. Don't ever leave a gate open. Leave a gate like you found a gate. So, well, we got anybody in here? Let's see here. Yep, it's working again. Who we got on board? Who's in here? I'm not going to stay too long this time. I got to get to work. I got to get out there and cut some grass today and a few other things. I'm going to switch from coffee to Mountain Dews. You guys got any questions? Feel free to ask questions. You can ask me anything. I'll be glad to answer it. You can even ask asshole questions like Live Life did. I'll answer them and then I'll kick you out. Not permanently, just for 300 seconds. How long is that? 5 minutes? Well, 600 seconds would be 10 minutes. So, yeah, 5 minutes. Hey, Can-Am boy. What's going on, man? I don't know how long I'll have the connection. It tends to come and go. I'm just having fun on YouTube, man, during the day, goofing off, trying to just have some fun, talk some dogs, talking about collars and leashes and D rings and O rings and stuff. What kind of collars you using, Can-Am boy? Make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, hit the like button. Drop me some links. What you feeding, Can-Am boy? Yeah, we were just talking about that, man. I did make a breeding almost 2 years ago and kept a litter. I got a litter that I kept that was, I'm not selling any of them. That Donald dog that I put up on Facebook, I got him and his three sisters, and they're almost 2 years old now. And then this summer, I'm going to breed this Villy dog I got. He's like half my blood and half Villy, and it's pure Villy right from him. It's not that red Croata stuff. And I'm going to breed him to the mother of that litter that I had 2 years ago. So it'll be like 3/4 my stuff and 1/4 Villy. But man, if she has 3 or 4 puppies, I'm just going to keep them. It's the first time I've crossed out in since like '94. So I'm going to keep them and see what they look like. Um, but my yard, if you want to breed one of my dogs, you're welcome to. Yeah, I like O'Brien. Stillwater. Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of that guy's name earlier, man. Stillwater. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll bet, man. I hear you. Yeah, you got to come get it. You got to come down here and spend about 3 or 4 days with me and work your ass off, man. Come down here and help me. I got all this freaking land, and I'm old. I can't even hardly walk. Yeah. My back is so fried between my back and my legs. Um, come down here and help me for a few days. Come hang out. We talk dogs and rake leaves. It'll be fun. We'll cut some trees up. I got plenty of them, man. I live in the damn forest. I mean, my house is completely surrounded with hardwoods. I hear you. I hear you, man. Yeah, bring a hot bitch down here and stick it on one of these males. I mean, you think about it. Okay, you buy a puppy from somebody, right? I never bought puppies from people when I was getting into dogs. I always, if I wanted to say I wanted a dog from Fabio, I'd go and I'd go and breed to one of his dogs. 18 months, I got a whole litter. Because think about it. You go to buy a puppy from somebody, right? You get a puppy, you raise it up. What are you going to do with it? You can breed it into your yard, right? Okay. So you buy a puppy, you wait 2 or 3 years later, you breed it into your yard. Now you got half that puppy, half your yard. And then you got to wait 2 more years. So you're talking 5 years to bring that puppy into your yard, and you got one shot. Does that puppy produce puppies? Do you want to breed it? All that stuff, right? Where the same thing, you take a bitch that's bred like what you're going to breed that puppy to, and stick it to a male from that person's yard. 18 months later, you got a whole litter of what you were planning on doing in 5 years. Anyhow, Yeah, man, bring one of them Cottingham Jeep Red Boy dogs down here and stick it. It'll definitely be an outcross. Uh, uh, I got Fat Bill and Clemens. That's what I got. Fat and Clemens. Mix it up. Ooh. Ooh, mix it up. Yeah, this shit's fun. Oh. I know I used to get that Cottingham stuff, man. I matched into Durant several times, man. I never lost to him. I beat that champion Snooty dog. We beat that Red Man Junior dog. Man, we whooped him left and right, man. You know, old Durant. Old Durant. He's a good dog, man. Game dogs. They just and they won at the local level, but when he stepped up into the heat, they'd shut him down, man. They shut him down, man. Game as hell. But he used to have to pick them up. No, God bless him. Man, I couldn't do that shit again if he paid me. Fuck that. Anyhow, we're not going to get into all that. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I need to order some collars, man. That's for sure. Mine are getting pretty raggedy. I keep them clean. I take them. I've got like a couple extras, and I'll scrub them with a brush, and you'd be amazed how you can bring a collar back. It's just like a pair of old shoes. You take an old pair of shoes and clean those up. Take a brush and scrub them old shoes. Well, the thing with the Red Boy dog, with the Cottingham dogs, man, is they just get left behind in the dirt. It come to go time, man. You get to the hour mark, 45-minute mark, and they just didn't have the giddy up and go, and they just yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. And see, when I whoop that champion Snooty dog with Storm, it took an hour and 36. And then when we beat Red Man Jr., that was with So Evil. And that took 35 minutes. They had to pick him up. He showed game, but they had to pick him up. And I don't think that's the same. I don't know if that's the same Red Man Jr. that he bred to. I think that was different. You'd have to ask Durant. Well, yeah, I don't know. It's the Eli family's so big, man. There's so many all harder. Instead of crossing it, you want to just probably cull within it. And uh, like if I had Cottingham cheap Red Boy dogs and it wasn't working out, maybe go to like a Jeep Rascal dog, like still stay within the family, but maybe put like maybe some of that blackjack Red Boy stuff in there. I don't know about going all the way out with it. I don't breed that family of dogs, but if I was messing with it, I'd probably put some of that blackjack in there or something like that. Something that's got some leg, something that'll stand up a little bit. It's got a little better structure, and like you said, a little more punch, a little more ability. So, I don't really know if my blood would help it or not. You know, I mean, it definitely take it out. You definitely take it out. I mean, you know, it was uh, it was a nightmare. My blood was a nightmare for Cottingham and Crenshaw. That's for sure. Yeah, yeah. Take it towards something like that. Stay within the family. Some good Jeep Rascal stuff. Find you something like that. Move away from the Red Boy side of the pedigree. Move into the Jeep Rascal side of the pedigree. Did you ever go into Aussie? I did one time. I had a bitch named Ludi Mae, and she was out of Pedro, and man, she was bred good. And her mother was out of Rascal Junior and Jeep Sister. I can't remember her mother's name. Anyhow, um, I didn't handle or condition the dog. Rick Morehouse handled and conditioned my dog for me. And but I went, we went to the show and everything, and we won in 45 minutes. And but Ozzy was real nice and all that stuff. My buddy, he lived near Ozzy. He lived in Butler, Pennsylvania, which is up there near the other side of Pittsburgh. And so he handled and conditioned the dog for me. Yeah, man, it's working. It's working. We'll stay online for a while, and if it crashes, I'll get offline. If it doesn't crash, I'll get offline in a little while. I can't stay online too long today. I got I got some shit I got to do. But y'all be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and ring the bell and all the stuff you're supposed to do to help out. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can go live. That way, I can go out on the yard and I don't have to sit here at this stupid computer to talk to you. It'll be way better. So get your friends to hit the subscribe button so I can go live and on the phone and go hit the yard with the telephone. Go out and visit people, and I can get you way better videos if I could go live on the phone, but it won't let me do it until I get 1,000 subscribers. Um, hey, I hear you hanging loose. APBT Performance with the hang loose sign. Are you in Hawaii, or is that just your emoji? Hey, Lucky, you was asking about Harry. Lucky, did you hear my piece on Harry that I put up? Where I talked about Harry Hargroves. Oh, Harry's a good guy. He's whatever. He's a little bit wild like I am, but all in all, Harry, he is definitely done to do. But I mentioned Harry a couple times. I went in 2, 3 times, and again, I whooped him. I beat that Gart dog out of Rufus and Abigail, and he beat me with the Tank dog. I lost game in an hour and 45. And then I went back into Tank. Tank went and won a championship after that. And then I went back into Tank and I beat Tank in 22 minutes. Tank lost game. He was very game dog. Tank was very game, but he lost to Dixieline Connections Bo in 22 minutes. But nice guy. See you, Can-Am. But Harry was a nice guy, and got a real good dude. Harry, top notch. If you know him, Lucky, you tell him I said hey. Tell him he ought to come visit me. I'll give him a haircut. I'll fix him up just like me. I tried that long hair stuff like Harry was doing. And man, the first day it got warm out here, I grew all that hair in a year. And the first day it got hot out here, and I was out there in that weather, Lord Almighty, it was like having a toboggan on. I mean, it was hot. I had to cut that shit off. So, hey, look, y'all make sure if you ain't ordered my book, make sure you get my book now. I mean, it's a hell of a book. You can ask anybody on here that's already purchased it. And not only do you get the book, but you get this flash drive. And the flash drive, now I'm going to tell you what, the flash drive is loaded. Not only you get the book, but you get the flash drive. And the flash drive has got Book of Game Dogs is on it. Book of Interviews is on it. I've also added the Ozzie Stevens interview, Baker Davis interview. And just yesterday, I put the SDJ Books of Champions on it from 1972 to 1994 or something like that. But there's a whole bunch of those Books of Champions on there. And it's like the early stuff from 72 through like 94 or something. And I think there's even a 2001 Book of Champions on there. But I just loaded it up with a bunch of stuff. What did you go into at Donrest? I went into that champion buckskin bunch dog of his. He sent me a picture of buckskin bunch and wanted to put her on the front page of my magazine. And so we never put a dog on the front page unless we did a little investigation. And I called around up there, and a bunch of people said that dog was this and that. And so I told him, I said, I beat that bitch in 45 minutes. Let's see here, Bill. When you bred your Pedro dogs to Chinaman, what did you notice different? Well, the big difference I got was leg. The Pedro dogs were pretty small dogs, and they didn't have those straight front legs. And that was one thing that the old timers really stressed down there in Texas was straight legs. You want an athlete, and you want a dog with straight front legs. And the Pedro dogs definitely were not athletes. Their back legs were kind of bowed, and their front legs were kind of short and bowed. And so the big thing that Chinaman gave me was athleticism, long legs, lifted them up off the ground. I mean, you look at pictures of like the Granny Dog and the Suicide Bitch and Kill Billy and Grand Champion Pink Floyd out of that litter. All those dogs, these long, straight legs, even though they were small dogs, they still were small. We didn't lose we didn't go to a big dog. They were all in like their high 30s, low 40s, but they had these incredibly straight legs that we still have today. I haven't looked at the flash yet. Still reading the book. I went to Jim Davis' funeral. Who's Jim Davis? No, I didn't go to Jim Davis's funeral. I don't know Davis. Who's Jim Davis? Live life. All right, live life. Don't do nothing crazy. I'll kick you out again. Tell me who Jim Davis is. You're starting to irritate me. You sit here talking about stuff, we're having a good time. How far are you in the book, Bill? APBT, have you ordered the book yet? Oh, Baker Davis. No, I didn't go to Baker's funeral. I didn't find out about him dying until a couple weeks after he died. I didn't find out about it, man. Yeah, man, I didn't find out about it. Didn't make it to Baker's funeral. I hadn't talked to Baker when he died. I hadn't talked to him in about 2 years. And just, no reason or anything. You know how it is. It was like Lester. I hadn't talked to Lester in over a year when he died. So, you know how it is. Time goes to flying. Behave yourself, live life. Well, I was there. I was at the Buck versus Sandman match. That was 3 weeks after Bronson fought Header. And, that match, when Bronson went against Header, that was 3 hours, 9 minutes, no turns, no out of holds at a 19 match convention. Took best and gamest and show. So then 3 weeks later was Buck versus Sandman. And man, they just laid around. I mean, it was, Buck snapping and Sandman staying on the face. I mean, it was so boring. Back then, we had some bad habits. And we all went in the house and got high. It was at Frank Jacobs' house, right in his backyard. I mean, right behind his house off the highway. I mean, you could walk around his house and see the road. And, but anyhow, we come back outside and the same shit was going on. So, now, whether it was just they were two great dogs and they neutralized each other or whatever, but I mean, to me they were just both like A- dogs. I mean, and then of course they were both wore out. They were both old dogs. Neither one of them probably should have been there. But it was nothing fabulous. I guarantee you. Jim was up at Mountain Man's. He had shovel dogs. Yeah. Oh, Tom Epperson. Yeah, man. Man, I ain't seen Tom Epperson in shit, man, 30 something years. You know Tom, Bill? He's still alive? That sure was a fun dude. He was a chief petty officer in the Navy. Uh-oh. My connection's starting to give it up. There we go. We're back online. I'm trying to give it up, but it's still working. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's working. It sure is a crappy connection. Crappy connection. But it's better than no connection at all. I don't know what a shovel dog is, Live Life. What's a shovel dog? Hey, Live Life. What's a shovel dog? Tell us what a shovel dog is. Do 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 do. How can I order your book? Hey, there we go. All right. So what you got to do is go to. You can order it here on on this page. If you go back to the splash page for the YouTube page, the information is there to order it. You can go to my Facebook page. Let me give you the way to go to that, and you can order it there. Let's see here. That's a good question. I need to have that where people. You can go there and order it. Why you and Patrick was beefing. You side if you don't mind, sir. There you go. Man, Patrick beefs with everybody. I mean, Pat worked for me. He worked for me for the Game Dog Times. He was one of my writers. And he said something to me on the phone one day. And as long as he's alive, he's got to admit what he said on the phone, what he asked me to do. He asked me to do something. And I told him no. And when he wants to admit what he asked me to do, I'll be glad to involve myself in that conversation. But he's never admitted it. And when he admits it, I'll be glad to get into that conversation. But all he wants to do is lie. And as long as the guy wants to lie, I got nothing to say. When the dude drops dead, I'll tell you what he said. And you'll understand. At this point right now, Pat Patrick's a piece of shit. Anyhow, that's all I got to say, man. He's just a liar. I mean, he beefs with everybody. Everybody. I mean, he was beefing with everybody before he started beefing with me. And he just added me to his beef list. Yo, uncircumcised. We got a decent signal here. It tried to crash on me a few minutes ago. It's still trying. I don't know how much longer we're going to last. Shoot, man, he even beefed with Bob Fritz. I mean, Bob Fritz, Vinny's partner. I mean, if you look, you'll see a thing called Fritz Blitz in his pedigrees. And that's where he stole that dog from Bob Fritz. Long story. It's a daughter of Boomerang. And Bob Fritz waited too long to go get the dog. And so he kept the dog because he waited like a month too long to go pick the dog up. So he keeps Bob Fritz's dog. I mean, we're talking about a guy that stole Bolio. I mean, the guy's a dog thief. He's an open public dog thief. And he's going to talk shit about me? Here's what I got for Pat Patrick. I found it in my pocket. What happened to Emily? I don't know. Somebody told me she was dead. What do you know? Is she dead or alive? Patrick probably killed her. Fucking psycho. I got no idea what happened to Emily. I don't know. Hell, she ran everything. She did all the work. She was crazy too. Jesus Christ, man. That whole crew down there, man. Look, I went there one time with a buddy of mine. He got a dog. And we get to his house. And the dude makes us wait at the gate for over an hour. And man, it was hot. I mean, hot as hell. You wouldn't believe it. And he knew we were there. We sat there at the gate for over an hour, waiting in the car. I mean, it was just ridiculous. Oh, I hate that, man. I hate that. She called me one night from Charlotte, and Butch Davis had passed away, and he had a bunch of Red Boy Jocko dogs, and she had bought 5 dogs from his family, and I had to go pick her up at the Charlotte airport and take her down to just the other side of the Broad River, and she got 5 dogs down there, and then took her back to a hotel near Charlotte and dropped her off. That's the only time I ever met her in person besides when we went to Pat's. The only time I went into Captain America was when he bought the Bama dog from James Crenshaw. And then we went into Bama, and Louie and I were pit side, and Boone was handling my dog, John Wayne, and James Crenshaw was handling Bama for Louie. and we stood there pit side while our dogs matched. And I remember at one point I turned to Louis and I said, "Man, you got a good dog. You ought to pick him up." And Louis says, "He's not a good dog unless he beats your dog." And then Crenshaw's like, "Oh, no, he is a good dog." And they got in an argument. It was pretty funny. But what about Patrick lying over the phone about Ruben, wasn't it? Well, like I said, Pat, he had problems with everybody before he had a problem with me. I mean, he lied about breedings, he stole dogs, I don't really want to get into it too much. I try not to talk about people too much when we do this. You guys will kind of push me into doing it, but you guys already know the story about Pat Patrick. It's all out there. The guy's, you know, he's dirty as a shoe covered with dog shit. Bad guy, bad guy. Was Ricky Jones a cheater? No, he wasn't a cheater. I appreciate it, Renegade. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the bell and hit the everything you're supposed to hit, brother. I appreciate it. Make sure you buy my book. I'll ship it out to you today. If you buy it before 4 o'clock, it'll ship today. Melvin, what's going on? No, Ricky wasn't a cheater, but man, he broke a lot of people's hearts. He broke a lot of people's hearts, man. He broke a lot of people's hearts. And I thought a lot of Ricky before all that shit happened. And you talk about needing paper. You want some paper? There's plenty of paper on that one. That's a shame. Why do bolio dogs lose teeth? Well, all dogs have problems when you inbreed them. It's like my dogs. They got mange. And if you don't start them on Ivomec when they're young and keep them on Ivomec, the hair will fall out of their ears and, they'll blow their coats. And, you've got to keep them on Ivomec and properly, the proper dosage of Ivomec once a month. Or, not all of them, but some of them will show the signs of mange where the hair will come off their ears, the hair will come off the tips of their tails, things like that. The bolio dogs, and I've seen exactly what you're talking about. When you inbreed them, their teeth get small and their teeth fall out. My connection's getting unstable here. Let's see if we can boost it back up. Sun's coming out. Sun is coming out. Kills my connection. Let's see if we got it working. It might have just shut me down. I think we're out of business. What Frisco Lee strain do you like from the past? Am I still online? Can you see me? When it comes to the Frisco dogs, I only, is it working? Because my clock ain't ticking. Oh yeah, there it goes. When it comes to the Frisco dogs, I bred the Frisco one time. I bred the Frisco himself, and I bred Bolero to him. After that, I didn't mess with the Frisco dogs. I never bred to a dog that Tom Garner was a breeder of. I only bred to dogs he got from other people. So I'm not familiar with Frisco Lee Ling or any of the El Negro blood or any of that stuff. I just bred directly to Frisco, and I bred directly to Chinaman, and I bred directly to Pedro with my females. And I never bred to any of the dogs that Tom Garner bred himself. So, like, I couldn't tell you anything about Frisco, Lee Ling, or any of that stuff. No, that's what I don't like. Don't have to ask a lot of questions about it. Just listen to the show. That's why you have to, sir. People don't know, same run what's been done, said. Yes. Yeah. Say you hired in a kite, Melvin. Woo, I heard that. They're trying to legalize it here in Virginia. July 2024, as of now, recreational becomes legal here in Virginia. And we can grow 3 mature and 3 immature plants. And they tried to start it in July of this year, but that failed. They still may be able to get that passed, but we'll have to see. Man, I got to go take a piss. I'll be back. All right, all right. You're still working? Oh, yeah. Okay, Bill. Have a blessed one. I'm heading out. Cool. No, no. I think I talked to Ron Costello a couple times, and he subscribed to the magazine. And but I didn't know him, and I didn't know him like I knew Ozzy. I knew him through Ozzy. So there was a lot of people that man, there's a lot of people I didn't get to meet personally. You might see him at a show or something like that. But as far as like that area, the Pittsburgh area, my tight friend was Rick Morehouse. Did you know Pocono Rick? Pocono Rick was a good dude, man, from that area. And then another one from that area that lived up there for a long time, then ended up down here was Texas Ron. And he was big up there in the Pittsburgh area. I hear you, man. Nah, no beige khakis. I got shorts on. I didn't piss my pants today. Man, that sucks when you do that, don't it? When you're out in public. So, need to design some kind of underwear for old men where we can piss our pants and nobody can tell. That shit sucks, man. I do some volunteer work, and where I volunteer at, the bathroom is a damn football field away. And it is just way the fuck down there. And occasionally, I don't make it. I don't make it. So I have to wear black pants when I work down there. But yeah, I appreciate it, Renegade. And like I said, man, you don't only just get the book, but you get this jump drive with it. And man, this jump drive right here, it's got Game Dog. It's got a book of Game Dogs, a book of interviews. It's got a whole bunch of book of champions on it. It's got so many pictures on it. You're just gonna blow your mind. So it's really, really good. You'll like it. All right. Somebody asked me a question, and I will answer it. You know, because I'm getting ready to get out of here in a little while. The sun's come out, and it's 2 o'clock here. I need to get out on the yard for about 2-3 hours and goof off, and then I'm going to the race tonight. Go watch the Xfinity race at Martinsville Speedway. I'm still here, feeling hell for young people. I hear you, man. I need to take me a break like Melvin's taking. Shit, the hell with this. I'm gonna go take me. I'm gonna go take a 5